Chawai. I represent Kauru Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by commending Mr. President for presenting this budget of renewed hope. Mr. Speaker, defense and internal security has an accumulated allocation of about 3.2 trillion, which sees a remarkable increase from previous allocation. Mr. Speaker, this defense allocation has a positive impact in my constituency and the southern part of Kaduna State, which is bedeviled by insecurity. I believe the implementation of this allocation will help in sustaining and motivating security personnel in that part of the state. The Budget Minister, Mr. Speaker, in his analysis has stated that the Power Ministry, Transport, Water Resources, Works, Aviation and Housing have a consolidated allocation of about 1.3 trillion. He also confirmed that this is a modest allocation and that Mr. President has given marching orders to all the ministries to ensure that there is private sector involvement so that there will be growth in all these sectors instead of over-reliance on only the budget. Mr. Speaker, private sector involvement is only possible in a secured nation, and I'm glad security is being given the required allocation to ensure that the nation is quite secured. The solid mineral sector, in a bid to drive or grow our non-oil revenue, the solid mineral sector is a very important sector that needs to be given priority. Mr.
Order, please. Order.
Stated that this is a very important sector. It is a sector that is going to be revamped, and so much is going to be done in this sector so that we will grow, or rather grow our non-oil revenue. This can only be achieved through private sector investment as well. With the adequate private sector investment in our solid mineral sector, I believe we'll be able to grow our non-oil revenue. Mr. Speaker, we are still short of the 10% Maputo declaration when it comes to the aggregate expenditure allocation. The Maputo declaration recommends a 10% agricultural sector contribution to the budget proposal so that there will be food security in the country. We are currently a little under 3% when it comes to that contribution. I believe the only other avenue for us to ensure food security and the agri sector is ably commended or ably catered for is through development partners. So I call on the government to ensure that development partners are involved in the development of our agri sector so as we can guarantee food security in this country. Finally, Mr. Speaker, our non-debt recurrent is 9.9 trillion, which is about 36% contribution. Yes, it is slightly lower than the previous year's contribution, probably by about 3%, but it is still a huge number. I believe for us to ensure that this nation operates at an optimal position, our recurrent expenditure needs to go down drastically. And the only way to achieve that is by adopting recommendations that have earlier been done or